I remember many years ago, we had this event in Krishna Balaram Hall, and Mukundadat Prabhu gave a wonderful speech. No, thank you very much. Very learned, scholarly devotee, and surrendered to Shri Krishna Balaram. Hare Krishna. No, I'm just recognizing it was very nice of you. No. Hare Krishna. So, as we've all heard continuously from Srila Prabhupada and so many devotees, the meaning of Vyasa Puja, we're representing Srila Vyasadeva. After the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, tomorrow is Guru Purnima, so we will recognize Srila Vyasadeva. And he said, and Nityananda Prabhu is our Guru. So this shows the spirit of Dasa Dasa Anudasa. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us the meaning of servant, being a servant, because Krishna is the first servant. Krishna is the first everything. He's the Adi Guru and he's the Adi Das. No? So, not to be confused with the 10 issues of Adi Das. So in that ceremony, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu, please put the garland on Vyasadeva. So he took the garland and he went toward whatever they had, painting or whatever of Vyasadeva. And then he turned around and like 180 degrees, and he walked over to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and put the garland on. So really Vyasa Puja means representing Srila Vyasadeva in garlanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead with our words, with our praises, with our dedication, with our service. All of these externals that we do in devotional service are meant to develop the internal mood, the internal feeling. As Srila Prabhupada says in the introduction to Upadeshamrita, that this book is about attitude. If we examine Shikshastakam, especially the first 5 verses, it is about the attitude. And the purpose of this event is to develop that attitude of surrender and the attitude of wanting to give everything to Krishna. The whole idea of serving the spiritual master is that one be surrendered. I always refer to the famous speech of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it wasn't a Vyasa Puja ceremony. It was, as far as I could understand, it was a lecture, and there was a big audience, and he was on a big seat like this, no, maybe bigger. There's not even a seat big enough for him or for Srila Prabhupada. No. You would have to have a skyscraper seat. So he said, everyone must be thinking, who is this brute from the zoo gardens sitting so high and everyone else is sitting lower? So absorbed in the laudations that are being offered to him and drinking them in as if they were nectar to his ears. And he said, yes, this is my position. And then he said that, so I'm being accused of this, so let me present my case to the Supreme Judge, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let me put my case before him Jaridakatari kaha Krishnu padesh amaragyaya guru hanyatare desh. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed that you must become guru. And he said, therefore, if I, out of false humility, if I say, I don't want this, I don't want, this is not appropriate. Where is the humility? Where is the feeling that I am dasa dasa anudasa? I'm standing before everyone. But this is the order of Mahaprabhu. And therefore, to do this is real humility. Because humility means to follow the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many, many years ago, in attending these ceremonies, I also felt, this is difficult. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that there are two very difficult things about the position of Guru. One is you have to criticize everyone, and the other one is you have to accept their worship. Very difficult. But then, how do we resolve this? We resolve it by understanding, as Srila Prabhupada said so many times, that the position of the spiritual master is a peon. You're simply taking the message from Krishna to others, and you're simply taking whatever they can offer to Krishna. Just a conduit, just like an electrical wire, that making the connection. And when one understands that way, then one can tolerate this praise. This is not for me. This is for the spiritual. This is for my spiritual master, who is offering to his spiritual master. And this is the parampara. So Srila Prabhupada said so many times, what is the qualification of guru? Simply following. Prabhupada said, not such a difficult thing. Simply following. Of course, simply following 100% is a difficult thing because of ahankar. We have this ahankar, we have this pride, and we like people to see what we're doing. Of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also said, we should not try to see Krishna, we should try to let Krishna see us. But not out of pride. Krishna, please see me. Just at the end, like at the end of Upanishad. Please, I'm approaching the time of death. Please see what I am doing. Please, because I'm situated in the ocean of birth and death, samsara. So please see what I am doing. I always remember Srila Prabhupada in one disappearance day of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said, actually, I can understand that all of you have been sent by my Guru Maharaj. Now, in the case of Srila Prabhupada, although he meant it from his heart, the spiritual master, especially exhibiting humility, we can understand that is real humility. Otherwise, he's not qualified. If he's actually thinking, I'm just saying this because this is what you're supposed to say, then there's no humility. And humility is such an important thing. Without it, one cannot be guru. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I just mentioned, he said everyone must be guru. And in another place, Ateva ami agya dilum sabatkare jahan tahan premapala deha jaritari. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I order everyone within the universe, this is my instruction. You must take these fruits of love of Godhead and distribute them. So that is our business. And in Krishna consciousness, a bona fide guru is one who actually dedicates oneself to this mission established by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this mission established by Sri Narada Muni, this mission established by Sri Prasad Maharaj, who said that Naitan Vyahaya Kripanan Vimamuksha Eko. How, even though these people, he was talking about the general populace, they're rascals, kripanas, no? They're greedy, overcome by so many base qualities. But still, how can I accept liberation and leave them? No, this is not the mood. So, this is our parampara. We have our direct parampara, and we have the parampara coming from Arjuna, the parampara coming from so many other great Vaishnavas that may not be directly connected. We don't see that connection. Prahlad Maharaj, he was the king of the demons, no. But he's our, so this is our line, as Srila Prabhupada said, as we see, our line is a line of shiksha, and diksha also, but shiksha. Because once someone takes the position of diksha guru, even Srila Prabhupada said the shiksha guru generally becomes the diksha guru. In our movement, it may not always be so much like that. That was more of a situation in the past where one went to Gurukula, there's the guru taught them everything, and then they went out. Now in our movement, and my own realization is that Srila Prabhupada has very intelligently and perfectly brought back the mood that existed at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time. There is a worldwide movement. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not do this. He wanted to do it, but it didn't happen. No. Srila Prabhupada created a movement in which so many people are initiating. Just at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that was the reality. And shiksha, especially in that type of environment, spiritual environment, shiksha is of utmost importance. Because one may get initiated and one may not see one's initiating guru, for so long. Maybe never. I know a few devotees, they said the only time they saw their guru was at the time they got initiated. There's a few cases like that, and many cases where the initiating guru may or may not be there, present in one's life. So, as far as giving ongoing shiksha. So, we have the opportunity to participate in this movement. We have the opportunity to worship so many devotees for what they're contributing to us. And so our parampara is very extensive. It extends out, has so many spiritual tentacles reaching out and pulling us back home, back to Godhead. So, what is the qualification of Guru? Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. These two things, Srila Prabhupada said, these are the two things. These are the two things that all of us should be doing. Shrotriya, we should be hearing. Hopefully everyone's hearing every day Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and other shastras. And Brahmanishtam, and taking it seriously. When Srila Prabhupada defined kuti nati, duplicity, Srila Prabhupada defined it again and again as saying one thing and doing another. And so this is the real qualification of Guru. Saying one thing and representing that one thing in one's life, in one's words, actions, thoughts. Karmana manasa gira. This is Rupa Goswami's definition of the spiritual master. Iha yasya harer dasye. If we're worshipping Krishna and at the same time within this material world, which is so full of faults, Kali Yuga, so many difficulties, The important thing, karmana manasa gira. No. Even if nikilas vasta su, even if one apparently, just like Srila Prabhupada said, one should not see the spiritual master eating or sleeping. Because Prabhupada very rarely would take prasadam in front of the devotees. Sometimes he would, usually at a home program. And he would just take a glass of milk, maybe a few pieces of fruit. He told the devotees, actually, you eat to please the hosts, but don't eat to please yourself, because it may not be so perfectly offered, depending on the host. And of course the devotees were very young, and this was most of them from the West. First time they'd taking all these delicious preparations from expert cooks here in India. They definitely fell victim to the second, and usually ended up getting sick. Especially Srila Prabhupada said, especially here in Vrindavan, one should eat very frugally. So this is the qualification that one should maintain. And one should be very grateful that one should also take from the spiritual master that which is essential. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. That one should be very interested in understanding what is the ultimate purpose of life. In the 18th chapter of, I forgot the verse now, but the 18th chapter of the first canto, one verse, I think verse 13, 14. Srila Sutta Goswami says there are two things that must exist for the transmission of Krishna Katha. That Bhagavata Pradhana, someone must be fixed in Bhagavata. And this is the position of the Guru. And the other is Shushushaya. One should be very interested in hearing. If these two things exist, then this is the situation that establishes guru-disciple. And so the spiritual master has to be very careful. I remember Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, the guru can also commit the ninth offense, which is revealing Krishna to unqualified persons. He said, if he accepts initiation from people who are not qualified. Now one may say, well, Srila Prabhupada, he accepted so many unqualified people. But Srila Prabhupada made it his duty to make them qualified. That was his duty. So in Kali Yuga, just like if you look in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, he describes the position of Guru. That, if that were the essential qualification, I think that the parampara would have stopped with Srila Prabhupada, and we would all have to go to the Ritvik society. But Srila Prabhupada made everything quantifiable. And the definition of the Guru, there Srila Prabhupada mentions, elaborating on what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that the disciple must be completely free from the bodily concept of life in order to take initiation. So we would have no gurus and no disciples, practically speaking. But Srila Prabhupada gave a quantifiable definition of even a Mahabhagavata in Upadeshamrita. Srila Prabhupada says that the Mahabhagavata is a person who 24 hours a day is thinking, how can I spread Krishna consciousness? How can I spread the holy name? And in our parampara, we have established, Srila Prabhupada said, the minimum qualification for the disciple is that they must be sincere. And of course, sincere and serious, these two things must be there. Sincere means that we try to hear, we try to understand, we chant to the best of our ability. And serious means to put it into practice, to increase the quality of that chanting, to increase the quality of my service. And this is how, in Kali Yuga, that, none of us are very qualified, but this is how that the parampara goes on, that the spiritual master, under the present conditions of Kali Yuga, we can see, last time I checked, 142 different gender definitions, and it's always increasing. It might come to 8,400,000. So, so these are the situation we have in Kali Yuga. But all of these people, all 142 species, must go back home, back to Godhead. This is our conviction. This is the seriousness that Srila Prabhupada established for Guru. And one must tolerate all these, I don't know how to define it, exotic conditions that exist in people's minds in Kali Yuga. And go on and be compassionate and be merciful. Doesn't matter, Of course, we try to help society understand how you can be saner. We give them Krishna consciousness. Just like I remember one bhakta it was in Gainesville originally. I met him in 1975, and Bhakta, I think it was Bhakta Joe. And then I came back and visited again in 1982, still Bhakta Joe. Then Alatra was established, and then I saw him in 1990 something, Bhakta Joe. And just the last time I went, he was initiated. So that's how long it took, like 40 years. But the devotees were very tolerant. He's a Prasad Bhakta, so give him Prasad. And this is the compassion that we should have, to understand who knows the condition of someone's heart. Who knows? We can never tell. We have to be very careful not to box people into a conception and limit them. The modes of nature are already doing that. And generally speaking, that's all that we can see. We can only see that, what is externally evident. We can see the effects of the modes of nature. But as Bhagavad Gita, Krishna in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita tells us, these are the modes of nature that are acting. That's with spiritual vision, with the vision that Krishna is giving us through Bhagavad Gita. That's what we see. These are the modes of nature that are acting. We don't think this is the person. The person is a Mahatma inside of this body, covered over by these modes of nature, covered over by so many conceptions and so many upadis. And the duty of the spiritual master is to remove these upadis. But that's not so easy. No. Just like when I was a young brahmachari, I thought, we will conquer the world. And now I think, let me conquer my mind. No. If I can do that, I will be very happy. No. And so sometimes we have very lofty conceptions of what this movement is, what we can accomplish. And we should have that, especially what we can, because that was Prabhupada's vision. Prabhupada's vision was that, and is, that we take this Krishna consciousness and we make the whole world Krishna conscious. And actually, just reflecting a little bit, it's a few days before the U.S. elections for president. I was really hoping a little more than 4 years ago that Tulsi Gabbard would become the president. I wrote her a note. I don't know if she ever got it. I said, don't worry about the politics, just become president. Just agree with everything and become president. And if you don't accomplish anything else, everyone will know about Krishna. Because everybody knows the U.S. president. We may not know the president of Uganda, who it is. We may not know the president of Bolivia. No. We may not know the president of Nepal. No. But everybody knows the president of the U.S. And if the president of the U.S. says, I am a devotee of Krishna, everyone will know about Krishna. Everyone will want to find out about Krishna. So I mentioned that. I'll try to contact her again and say, stay in the fight. If a devotee of Krishna can become president, then everyone will know about Krishna. Krishna will, many people know, but many people don't know. Everyone asks me when I'm traveling, are you a Buddhist monk? No. Buddhist monks are famous. There are more Krishna monks running around the world than Buddhist monks, but we're not so well known. So this is our mission. And this is the duty of the spiritual master, to engage everyone in this mission. At the same time, to have the patience and the tolerance that people can come up to this standard. And where will we get that from? No. We can only get that from our parampara. And therefore we see Krishna gave so many tests to Srila Prabhupada. But those tests were actually for us. All these tests given to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, given to Prasad Maharaj, give all these sufferings. One may ask, why such a great devotee is being subjected to so many things? To show us that what we may have to go through to go back home, back to Godhead. And it's the duty of the spiritual master to accept these things gladly and show everyone that, yes, I'm very happy to accept whatever Krishna sends me, because this is the essence of spiritual life. Externally, we may seek justice, but internally, we have to understand that justice, because sometimes there are unjust situations in this world. And even to perform devotional service, we may have to seek external justice. Just like sometimes even in our Krishna consciousness, people attack us and we have to seek justice. But internally, we have to understand there is only justice. Krishna, Name Bhakta Pranashati. Krishna is always giving the devotee exactly what they need. And therefore Krishna himself says, Mama Vartmanu Vartate, that everyone is following my path. There's no one that's not following my path. So what to speak of a devotee? Krishna is giving us what we need. But others may be interfering. And Srila Prabhupada one time said, don't become upset with the instrument of your karma. But that vision is not so easy to have. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada did say that a devotee has the right to defend their service. So even if another devotee, internally we will understand, I deserve something, but I have to do my service. So therefore I have to seek justice, external justice. So these things, I always tell devotees that these things are very important. So this Krishna consciousness is something that is very fragile. very powerful, but at the same time, very fragile. And therefore, it is the duty of the representative of Vyasa to always remember that I am responsible to have the ability to show others how to accept what Krishna is giving us, what Krishna is requiring of us. So it's not, in one sense, it's an easy thing. Just strictly follow. And in another sense, it is a difficult thing because of our conditioning. So, as I mentioned, Srila Prabhupada said that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, that these disciples, these devotees who have come, who I have initiated, were sent to me by my Guru Maharaj. Now, this was Srila Prabhupada's humility. I know in my case, I know for a fact that those persons who I have the privilege and honor of serving in this capacity are sent by Srila Prabhupada, because everyone in this movement is sent by Srila Prabhupada. He has established Krishna consciousness. And his vision, Srila Prabhupada said, my biggest problem is I always think big. I can't think small. So Prabhupada wanted the world to become Krishna conscious. And therefore Srila Prabhupada has given the elements, and we all have this mission. And therefore all of us have the specific and special quality and the necessity of becoming Guru. Srila Prabhupada said, the greatest pleasure that the spiritual master receives is to see the disciple become more advanced than he is. Of course, if one is purely a Mahabhagavat, one automatically sees that way, that I'm just their servant. And this is the vision that we should have. But that's what Srila Prabhupada said. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if I can make one devotee a pure devotee, then my mission is successful. So this shows the power of Krishna consciousness and also the power of Maya. As Srila Prabhupada said, don't be surprised who leaves, be surprised who stays. And so this is the dichotomy. On the one side, we want to make the whole world Krishna conscious. On the other side, we can understand very, very clearly why many people don't become Krishna conscious. Of course, sometimes, unfortunately, we may be an instrument to them not becoming Krishna conscious, by our lack of Krishna consciousness, by not maintaining Vaishnava etiquette. And why does one not maintain Vaishnava etiquette? Simply because of material desire. Otherwise, if we can do this, if we can all, especially in the society of devotees, really live the Shikshastika in our hearts, in our words, in everything, in every expression, then Krishna consciousness will spread like wildfire. As Srila Prabhupada said, the only thing that can stop this movement is from the inside. Nothing from the outside can stop this movement, because it is established by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is established by Krishna. Nothing external. No government, no politics. Governments can kick us out. Governments can ban us. In my area of responsibility, I have 3 countries where Krishna consciousness was banned. One of them, it was banned 3 times. 3 times banned, and 3 times we snuck back in. And we know in many countries, we can't say that we're devotees. No. But still, we have inherited Srila Prabhupada's legacy. And that legacy is, in any situation, in any condition, we must spread Krishna consciousness. No. In some places it's easy. In India it's very easy to spread Krishna consciousness. No. Of course, there's always a difficulty. Like in India, it's easy to attract people, but sometimes it's difficult to get people to give up the devas. No. And every place has its advantages and disadvantages. I remember when I visited Thailand for the first time, Bhakti Vikas Swami was there as still Ilapati Prabhu, and he had been there for, I don't remember how long. He said, I think we've made one devotee. I think we've made one devotee. It was very difficult. No. And I went out with him. It was so difficult to distribute a book. Everyone would give us some gift. They liked monks, but they just weren't accustomed to monks telling them what to do. So it was quite an interesting experience. So in some places it's easy, but really it's always the same. To bring someone to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, is not an easy thing. And therefore we all have this duty. So for those who are disciples, I beg all of you, in spite of my whatever defects or shortcomings I may have, this is our mission. And I will promise that I will do my best to try to keep promoting and pushing that mission on. But we all have to accept the responsibility. And we all have to accept the mercy and the special compassion, mercy, and nectar that Srila Prabhupada has given us, which is available to everyone. So that, however qualified or whatever qualifications any of us may be lacking, we can find that in Srila Prabhupada. And so Srila Prabhupada, even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not establish himself in the same way that Srila Prabhupada established himself. Because Srila Prabhupada understood that somehow or another my Guru Maharaj has given me this mission to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. One of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers said, no, I didn't hear it personally, but another devotee heard it. He said, before Swami Maharaj went to the West, we all thought that this idea of every town and village was a metaphor, something theoretical. But now we can see that it is a reality. So this is the great gift that Srila Prabhupada has given us. And all of us, it will take all of us to, and even then we can't do it, to fill the shoes of Srila Prabhupada, all of us together. But all of us together can transmit that knowledge. And I pray that Srila Prabhupada will give me the ability to do so, to the degree that's possible. As Sutta Goswami says, a bird can fly as high as his wings will take him. And in the same way, I am trying to give you this Krishna consciousness to the point of my capability. So I pray to all of you, especially to so many senior Vaishnavas here that have come to bless me. Thank you all very much. All of you, disciples or friends, well-wishers, please give me the blessing in your prayers that I can continue my Krishna consciousness continue my service to Srila Prabhupada, continue my service to you until the time that I leave this world. And as Srila Prabhupada said, I know that I have crores of lifetimes, to live, to try to fulfill the demand, the order of Sri Guru Dev, of Guru Maharaj. So this should be our, although we would all love to go back home, back to Godhead, but our first duty is to simply fulfill the instructions of Sri Guru. Because that's the way we can go back home, back to Godhead. When we can do that to the fullest degree without any personal ambition, that is the qualification. So these are some words I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you for coming here and encouraging me to go on and try to fulfill my mission. Because my mission, I just wanted to mention this, that I have been given a grave responsibility above and beyond others that I have been given in the past of trying to help the devotees in this zone, meaning in India, by the mercy of my dear senior god brother, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So, actually being here and just for these months that I've been in this position have helped me to understand what an amazing service he performed for Srila Prabhupada. We all saw, many temples in Delhi. We all saw that. But when I see what an impression, Krishna conscious impression, he has imprinted in the minds and the hearts of his disciples, what an impact he has made by his selfless, constant efforts, sacrifice, 24 hours a day, really has been an inspiration for me. And seeing that reflected in so many wonderful disciples and devotees that he has inspired throughout the years. And coupling that with all the unlimited mercy that Srila Prabhupada and our parampara is showering upon us, I can only consider myself extremely fortunate that somehow or another, by the mercy of all the Vaishnavas, that I can continue in Krishna consciousness. So thank you all very much. Any question or comment that I may be able to answer? Yes, we need Krishna Prabhu. Can you speak a little louder just because I have a hearing defect and this AC, whenever there's background noise, it's difficult for me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing your deep realizations on this most auspicious day. Considering us very, very fortunate to hear all these realizations from you. One thing, you mentioned something about different kind of mentalities 150 times. I couldn't get that. You can explain. Referring to something. I was not able to catch it.
142. These are called different types of gender preferences. It's up at 142 now and rising. Just like, there's global warming. So there's also gender warming increasing. So, Hare Krishna. So, thank you all again very much for your kind attention. I'm going to have to remove a few garlands, otherwise I'll probably fall over here.